Is it more complicated, less complicated than the headlines are saying? That male boxer beats up female boxer gives up during the match and losing her chance at a medal. You guys saw this yesterday? Feels like that, most of us are talking about Simone Biles, Katie Ledecky, but I mean, if you really want to be honest, a lot of people are talking about this boxing match that went on yesterday. And I think because most people aren't educated, myself included, which is why I'm a little bit nervous about even talking about this on the show, are talking about the boxing match between a woman that has a female that has been tested with XY chromosomes fighting a woman, a female, and the female with the, biological female gave up about 40 seconds into this fight because she was fighting against somebody much stronger than she is and had already failed some tests when it came to gender identification. Do I have that right so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let me just get some of the details out first here, because I really do think, because most of us are uneducated. I'm so nervous talking about this, and I'll tell you why. This show and myself have been allies of the LGBTQ community for 23 years. So I feel like if we talk about this and I am honest about it, then I feel like I'm going to lose my status, and I don't want that. I'm curious about it. I don't think I quite understand the issue very well, so I would like to be educated. But as it stands right now, I'm kind of like one of those guys that's so ignorant that it's like, well, she was born a man, and even the way I speak about it, I stumble on because I don't want to offend. That in this particular case, I believe this boxer was born female, but has XY chromosomes.
So here's the really confusing thing. It's kind of up in the air. There's speculation because the boxer you're talking about, Algeria's Imane Khelif, she was banned by the IBA, the International Boxing Association, from a world championship boxing, I think in 2022 or 2023, and it's because she failed a non-specific gender test. The only reason that people are saying that it was because she was found to have XY chromosomes is because the president of the IBA came out and basically alleged that to some sort of Russian news site.
Nobody ever saw the results?
No. It has never been shown. It's never been actually conclusively, proven that she has XY chromosomes. So that's kind of what people are speculating, because they have said it wasn't because she just had elevated testosterone levels. Mm-hmm. But at this point, we don't know.
We might not, and it's curious to me that why they would hide the results of that. Mm-hmm. But also, in just looking at the eye test yesterday, you could tell there was a difference between these two fighters. One was bigger, one was stronger, one was more muscular, one moved faster, and one was eating punches hard.
There is definitely a distinction between Angela Carini, who was the Italian female boxer, and Algeria's Imane Khelif. They do look different. Imane looks masculine. She's taller. She probably has more muscle mass. But look at any other Olympic female athlete. Look at the soccer team. I mean, there are butch female athletes in every single distinction.
But there's no controversy there because all of them have tested as females.
Yes. So that's kind of where the problem lies. They put out a test. They said that she failed it. Now, I think it's also important to note that the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, doesn't accept the IBA's test.
They have more flexible rules about this kind of thing, right?
Well, they're banned from the IOC based on some sort of bureaucratic, there have been some ethical problems, I guess, and things like that. So they're at heads already. The IOC has accepted Imane as a woman based on their eligibility requirements. So I think it's so strange that people are calling her a man when she's legally a woman. She was raised as a woman. She may have some sort of sexual disorder. She might have XY chromosomes. That would make her an intersex woman. That would make her have perhaps ambiguous genitalia It might mean that she has elevated testosterone. It might mean that she has a bigger wingspan, more muscle mass, all things that genetically make you way better at boxing than your average woman. But if she had such a genetic advantage over all females as a quote unquote biologically male boxer, why does she keep losing to women?
Well, she has lost, but she's certainly the favorite this time.
She's a great boxer. But she's lost. The last Olympics, she lost in the quarterfinals. She's made like 17th, 19th place at World Boxing Championships. Like, she keeps losing against, quote unquote, biological cisgender women. I say there obviously is not enough of a genetic advantage to keep her from playing this sport.
So that I don't agree with, because we have a whole bunch of women that have competed against her before and have come out of the ring and said, I'm glad I'm still alive, because the punches were so different and so hard. And with the curiosity of this test also, it really keeps things very open-minded. In fact, we're not even calling her transgender, right?
No, she doesn't identify as transgender. She was raised as a woman. If she was intersex does not equal transgender. It just means that you have some sort of sexual disorder that like affects your hormones or your genitalia.
So it looks like what's happening is because it's so misunderstood and people don't understand genetics. She has a genetic, because you're saying, and again, she's born as a woman, assigned female at birth, raised that way. She's not trans at all. Mm-hmm. She's literally like everyone else in this room in terms of origin story who is female, right? She just has a genetic advantage that makes her stronger, more muscle mass, better at boxing. How is that any different from another woman who's born with an advantage where they're faster than everyone else, where they can jump higher than everyone else, because that's their genetics?
Because the chromosomes are different.
But
your XY chromosomes make you you want to say assigned biologically a male when you're born.
Right. But what we're saying is like never in her, it would like be the same as me getting tested right now and having XY and then you saying that I'm biologically a male. When my entire life, when I was born, when I was raised, my gender identity is all female. And then someone being like, I think you have XY because you're too strong. And then you check and maybe I do have XY.
But this was a test. This was a test that proved that she had XY.
Right. But what I'm saying is it's so weird. Like if I got tested today and I had XY chromosomes, am I all of a sudden a man?
I would think that test would have taken place when you were born.
Right, but it didn't. And so what I'm saying is her whole life she has been female because that's what she was born at birth. It's just a different variation of genetics.
We don't really know that. The family hasn't spoken out. We do know that?
No, she was raised as a woman.
Okay, but we don't. Okay.
Right, but we're saying we know the test is the chromosomes are XY.
So this is speculation. Like this
so it hasn't even been proven.
No, that's not been. That's what people think, and it's probably honestly true based on the fact that she failed that gender test. But we don't know 100%.
And we haven't seen the results of the gender test, though.
There is a bit of secrecy that's strange to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm not understanding. Why is there secrecy around the results of the test? Like, why are they hiding that?
To be honest, from what I've read, it seems like the IBA, the International Boxing Association, is kind of shady. So the fact that they're not like showing these results and honestly like defending this woman, I think kind of like proves a point in itself. But also it's technically, I guess, like medical records. It's kind of like a sensitive issue. So sure. I can understand why they wouldn't release it.
This Italian fighter that had to give up yesterday and quit the fight. It's a tragic story for her. 4 years ago when she was competing in the Olympics, her dad passed away the night before her first match.
Oh,
right? So she gave up boxing for 2 years, picks it back up, gets good enough to fight again in the Olympics, and then has this happen. So that's 2 Olympics in a row for her.
But she has not had this level of an advantage in her previous fights against other women, you're saying? Because that part I didn't know.
She's been the same woman. She's, I assume had the same hormones, the same body muscle mass, the same skeletal, figure. She's always had the quote unquote advantage that people are saying that she has, and she is still lost against plenty of women.
So this is a little bit of a different debate than it would be the debate of should transgender people be competing against different sexes.
Should Michael Phelps be competing? He's a freak. Look at his genetics.
Because she's not technically transgender, right?
She is not.
That it's a different argument. Do I get that right?
Yes, you do.
I'm still complicated.
I'm confused, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The Bert Show.